Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. You join me for episode number 20 of the comeback series, and this episode is going to be a little bit different. As you can see, I am quite comfortably sitting on my sofa, and I thought I would do this episode as a bit more of a sit down video because, well, first of all, I didn't film anything this week. So we have no content, and I don't want to miss a week. And I want to catch you guys up on where I'm currently at, how things have been looking, how I'm feeling, and just be quite honest and open with everything because it's been a week. I'm just going to open the door as well. Yeah, it's been quite a week. Let me bring this a bit closer because I feel like. I feel like I need to get comfortable. I've got my. Let's put this microphone here. I got myself a lovely Apple Tango ASMR. Lovely. I might pour this into a glass with a straw. BRB. Okay. Got my lovely Apple Tango in a glass with a straw. So, I guess a little bit of an update for how this week has gone. I had my birthday, and if any of you who are watching this follow me on Instagram, you would have seen, or you may have seen, you may not have seen, the reel that I posted because my birthday was really hard. I really struggled. And I think that week leading up to it, I was feeling a lot. I was just, I think it was just quite heavy. It's the first birthday that I've spent fully alone, and it felt lonely. And I think because of that, I just really struggled with my emotions. I struggled with how to just deal with it, to be honest with you. And I didn't really feel like picking up the camera. I didn't really feel like doing a lot. It was quite a shitty week when I look back at it, to be honest with you. And I'm definitely feeling better now. But I also want to be real because one thing that I always strive to do with all of my social media platforms is be open, honest, raw, real, and hopefully I portray that through my YouTube videos. So I think it wouldn't be aligned with me as what I want to portray online if I didn't kind of just talk about it a little bit, because to anyone else who is maybe struggling in the same way, or I don't know, is feeling lonely as well, I just want to kind of make people not feel quite so alone, because it's not a nice feeling. It's really not, when you're just on your own feeling like just, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I know I have a great circle of friends, and I don't want loads and loads and loads of friends. Like, I don't want, to be able to invite 50 different people to a party because they're all my friends. Like, I like my circle small, but I think obviously I've not really addressed it that much online because I like to keep certain aspects of my life private. But I obviously did go through a breakup with the person that I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with. And I think I've been through breakups before. I've obviously had previous partners and boyfriends, but this one was different. It was a very different relationship. It was a relationship that I was in where it was very, very serious. Like, we shared a dog together, and I no longer have that dog. That was my own personal choice, and I won't go into all of the details with that, but I had to let go of a lot and move on with a new chapter of my life. And I threw myself into prep. I threw myself into business, into everything. And I think when it came to my birthday, it just, it was a moment of realization as to like, whoa, like, oh my God, this is crazy. And I am so content by myself. But don't get me wrong, there are definitely times when I do feel lonely. And yeah, that was a real moment. I live quite far away from my family, so I didn't see my family on my birthday. I celebrated with my family the week before in the vlog that you would have seen, in like my previous vlog. But actually on my birthday, I was also feeling quite preppy. Like I was feeling quite fatigued and not like the highest in energy. I had to train legs, I did my normal work. So it just kind of felt like a weird day. And then I went into my leg session, and the only way I can describe it is like every set that I did, I felt like I was going to cry afterwards. And I'm quite good at controlling my emotions, or I like to think I've become quite good at controlling my emotions through this prep, better than I was last time. Jesus Christ. But it just felt a little bit more uncontrollable. And I tried to, control it, but sometimes I think you do just have to kind of allow yourself to feel how you're feeling in order to be able to like understand and not just suppress your emotions. So yeah, it was just an emotional day. I then went for a spa day the next day with not with anyone, with myself. And for the first time, I took some time to just be present in the moment and just like enjoy it, and just like not be so go, 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 and not be so like, I don't know, always doing something. I actually was able to read my book properly and just take in everything. And I don't want this to sound so like cliche, but I genuinely am really proud of myself for, I don't know, just overcoming this, and just the position that I'm in at the moment with myself. Like, business aside, everything aside, but just with my own ability to just understand myself better. And I think it's important to be able to be comfortable by yourself before you let anyone in. And admittedly, it's not something that I've ever been able to do before. So yeah, I do feel proud of myself. As for like updates in terms of bodybuilding and prep, like I was still doing everything I needed to do, don't get me wrong. Like I was still ticking the boxes and eating my meals, yada yada yada. My body weight was doing some crazy shit, like fucking out. Like it was definitely reflecting how I was feeling, shall we say. But it settled it down a lot more now, and yeah, I'm just feeling a lot better. So I just wanted to give that update because, yeah, like I said, it wouldn't be me being authentic to myself if I didn't actually like just talk about it a little bit. And that being said, I did put a question box on my Instagram for some questions. So I'm going to get them up and answer some of them because, yeah, I'm going to go through some of the questions. I didn't get a lot, but I got a few, so we're going to answer them. So, question 1. How to get more carbs in when appetite is a bit low? When your appetite is low, I'm assuming this person is in a like off season or surplus. If your appetite is low, first of all, I would address why your appetite is low. Is it because you've been in a surplus for a long time? Is it because of other things like looking at where your protein is at? Is your protein in a good place? Are you spacing meals out well? Is the food quality that you're eating good quality food? Because a lot of the time appetite can come from poor digestion. So like if your digestion is poor, then your appetite can be low. But also, then if you still feel like your appetite is low and you need to get the food in, choose options that are lower in volume. So if you're trying to get more carbs in and you're not feeling that hungry, you're probably better off eating carbs that are lower in volume, because they're not going to be as satiating, so it's going to be easier to eat. So things like, I love to opt for gnocchi. Gnocchi is such a great like carb source in an off season if your food is high. You can also look at adding little things like saurine bars, squares bars, opting for fruit that is lower in volume as well, like banana, dates, and getting some of your carbs from that. Obviously, you don't want to be just having like all of your carbs from fruit, but adding them in to meals can make it a lot easier to get your carbs higher. So that is my best tip. But remember, these things are tools, so use them wisely, but don't abuse them. Otherwise, you're probably not going to help yourself. Next question. Hello, if you could learn another language, what would you choose? Have a great day. Firstly, thank you. That is from Dal3811. If I could learn another language, do I go with what's cool or what would be most practical? I feel like it would be cool to learn like Mandarin. Like, I feel like that to me just blows my mind. When I look at like how it's written, I just like, my brain doesn't comprehend how that can make sense as words. So I'd love to learn that language. But I think in a more practical sense, Spanish would be good to learn, because Spanish is quite widely spoken in obviously countries in Europe. So I feel like it'd either be Spanish or Mandarin. I did learn Spanish at school, but I don't remember a lot of it. I don't even know how to count to 10 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. I know hola, me llamo Ella. Yeah, rest of it, gone. Question 3. Do you utilise peptides? No, I do not. I don't utilise peptides. What even are peptides? Oh, like collagen. I don't utilise peptides, no. Simple answer. No, I don't. Do you take any supplements for joint health? Any recommendations? I actually don't. My joints are actually pretty good, touch wood. So I don't, but if I was to recommend any joint supplements, the only one I can think of is Sportmax Joint by Strom. I did used to use that, but yeah, I don't really use it at the moment. I don't feel like I need to. I do mobility work and I'm sensible with my loading when I'm training, and my joints seem to be fine, so I don't feel the need. But I would definitely recommend that if I could recommend any. Mad Coaching asked, what show are you doing? What show am I doing? What shows am I doing? So my shows for this season are WNBF Supernaturals. I'm doing the UKDFBA UK Championships. I'm also doing the PCA Naturals 4 and the MBW International show. So those are my 4 planned shows so far that I've entered. And obviously we'll go from there. The shows that I'm doing, they have shows that you can qualify for. But, you know, like, I'm just going to see how it goes. I'm going to see how I do, because you just don't know. You just don't know. But obviously I would love to qualify for shows that are able to be qualified for those. So for example, the PCA Naturals. I'd love to qualify for the PCA Naturals finals, which is the day after. The WNBF, you can qualify for the Worlds, which would be really cool if I did qualify for that. And then the MBW show, like, you can get invited to, I don't know where it is they're taking people, but I think it might be, it's an international show, I know that. I can't remember which one, but yeah, that would be cool. That would be a bonus. But those are the 4 shows that I'm doing. So yeah, anyone that wants to come and watch would be honestly incredible. And yeah, I already feel just so grateful for the support that I have on social media already. So if anyone did come and watch, genuinely, that would blow my mind, and I would appreciate that beyond words. Someone asked, how tall are you? I am 5'7". I don't know if do I look 5'7"? I don't know if I look 5'7" or not, but I'm 5'7". I feel like that's quite average, maybe a bit taller than average. I feel like I'm quite tall. But yeah, I'm 5'7". Do you have any big plans coming up this next year? Not really, no. I haven't got any big plans. At the moment, I'm just enjoying living in the present and enjoying this prep. This is obviously a prep that I have been thinking about or just working towards for a hell of a long time. So I'm trying to just enjoy every moment and not think too much into the future. So no, I don't have any big plans. Have you travelled internationally? Is there anywhere you'd love to go to? Ooh, I have travelled internationally. I have been quite a few places actually. I've been in Europe. I've been to lots of places in Europe. I've been to Italy. I've been to France. I've been to Spain, like all of the Spanish islands. I've been to Portugal, Greece. I've been to Greece a few times. I've been to Jamaica. I've been to Mexico. Been to Canada, Thailand. I think that's pretty much it. I would love to go to Australia. Australia is on my bucket list. I really want to go to Australia. I'd really want to go to Bali as well. Where else? I'd love to go to Canada again. Oh, I've been to America as well. I've been to America a few times. But I'd love to go to some of the different states in America. Like, I'd love to go to California. I'd love to go to LA. Yeah. Honestly, I want to go so many places. I feel like there's too many to even, like, list off. I really want to go to Japan as well. I just think Japan seems so interesting. So I'd love to go to Japan. Yeah, there's just a few. I could literally list them off for days, so I won't do that. And then final question is, in terms of female health, when do you lose and get your menstrual cycle back in prep and post show? Now, this question varies from person to person. Not everyone will lose their cycle. Some people will lose their cycle earlier than others. It honestly is so person dependent, and it can also depend on a lot of other factors as well. Like, for example, in my prep in 2021, I had my cycle all the way up until 4 weeks before my first show, which, yeah, it's pretty crazy, really. I think that's quite abnormal for a competitor. Whereas this time round, I lost my cycle in February. I lost it pretty much in the first month of my prep, which is kind of crazy because if you look at it body weight wise and how much food I was eating and how much expenditure I was doing way less expenditure, eating way more at the start of this prep than I was before I even lost my cycle in 2021. So it's been very different. But I also think that's also probably down to a few different factors. Like, I did quite a long pre-prep diet, pardon me, before this time competing, whereas I didn't do that. Well, I did a bit of a pre-prep, but it wasn't in the same way. And maybe life stressors had an impact this time around, potentially, probably did. Because obviously that was pretty much at the same time as I was going through a breakup. So, all of these things have a role. I'm aware that losing a menstrual cycle isn't exactly a good thing. And it will definitely be my priority to regain it as soon as I can. But yeah, it happens when it happens to a lot of people. It's a risk that you kind of have to be willing to take when you enter a bodybuilding prep, which is also why I would never do back-to-back competitive seasons, because I think it's important to regain homeostasis as a female, regain your cycle regularly. My cycle, luckily, is very regular, or was very regular. And when I came away from competing in 2021, I regained it within like 4 to 8 weeks. I don't think it'll be the same this time around because of how long I've not had it now. But it will obviously be a priority for me when I come away from this prep. So, yeah, that's pretty much all the questions I have. I don't know how long I've been talking for, but yeah, I just wanted to give that little bit of an update and do a little bit of a sit-down video because I've not done one of these before. So hopefully this was enjoyable. I hope you guys have been able to listen to me just chatting away. If you have, well done. Well done for getting this far, because I can literally chat shit for days. So, yeah. Anyway, next week's video I hope will be a little bit more exciting. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, as always, thank you so much for the support. If you want to follow along for my journey to the stage, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And if you do subscribe, you'll get notified when I upload a video. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to leave it there because I don't know how long I've been chatting for, but I think it's probably long enough now. So yeah, thank you all for watching. If you got this far, drop down let's do, in coordination with my apple tango, which is probably my favourite flavour. Comment down below the apple emoji if you got this far. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for next week's video. And goodbye. See you later. See you next week.